Liverpool, Man United.
Yes, what a game it is indeed to look forward to this weekend. Liverpool hosting Man United. You can get in touch with us as well. Any questions you've got for us, get in touch on Twitter. Use the hashtag #TheAnalysisShow. Delighted to have alongside me a master tactician, master player, master manager, Glenn Hoddle, to talk about it. Liverpool against Man United. It's first versus fifth, but it's two teams, the two most successful teams in English football. What a game.
So exciting, isn't it? I mean, obviously Liverpool, the power that they've showed and the expertise they've showed this year are the team to try and go and beat. And it's up to United this week to see if they can go into the fortress Anfield and get anything at all.
It's frightening, isn't it? I mean, 21 games played, they've won 20. The only draw they had was at Old Trafford, ironically. Is there anyone that's going to stop them this season? Is there anyone that's going to take away that unbeaten run that they've got going?
I think if it's going to happen, it'll be away from home. I can't see anyone going to Anfield at the moment. I really can't. I think they believe and they know. I played in the 80s when Anfield was like that. They had a team, Liverpool had a team that they knew they'd won before you even walked out the tunnel. They were that sort of strong and that confident.
Yeah.
And I think this team's got that. They've earned it.
Yeah.
You have to earn that. But they've got that sort of feel within themselves. And I can't see anyone going there and really turn them
United,
over.
though, had the supremacy in the 90s, the early 2000s as well. And yet, actually, while those two teams had the supremacy, the opposition tended to get a result against them, didn't they? You know, when Liverpool were dominant, United went to Liverpool and picked up results. And when United were dominant, Liverpool did the same. Gerrard and Torres, I remember going to Old Trafford and terrorising that United defence.
Yeah, I think at that time the teams were closer. No disrespect, at the moment, I think where Man United are as a club and a team after Ferguson, they've found it very, very difficult, as they did after Sir Matt Busby, actually. The same pattern has happened in history before. I think United are way off this team, off Liverpool. So they were much closer, and Liverpool were closer to United when they were
Table says
powerful.
it as well, doesn't it? 27 points.
27 points.
It's a massive gap between the two teams. What about Jurgen Klopp's record against Man United? He's faced them 10 times, all competitions, and he's only won 2.
Well, that's an interesting stat. But I think that goes out the window a little bit with this team.
Forget that.
Yeah, forget it, because of the way they're playing at the moment. You know, even last week they went to Tottenham, and you think, well, if they're going to get tripped up, maybe Tottenham might, you know, they've got to play at their very best to beat Liverpool. And that's the key. You've got to be at your very, very best if you're going to actually turn Liverpool over, because they are so strong defensively and attacking-wise. They really have got the balance of their game as perfect now.
Yeah.
It really is. You can't see really any chinks in their performance.
Well, the only team that has picked up points against Liverpool this season, it was United. It was at Old Trafford. How did they do it?
Well, I think there was a case of hanging on to their tail a little bit. They defensively did a good job on them. They were organised defensively. They went in with a back five, and they tried to swing their wing backs round and stop Liverpool from playing. Liverpool, you know, Liverpool are going to play the same way. You're not going to change. Liverpool won't
4-3-3.
Yeah, they're not, even if in Europe they're going to play the same way. But it is 4-3-3. But we get carried away with systems. You know, when is it ever 4-3-3? You know, when they're in possession of the ball, it certainly isn't that. It's only 2 at the back, and it's the fullbacks go forward. So I think they throw so many challenges at you as an opponent, and you've got to come up with defending against them first. So straight away, if you're doing that, Matt, you're taking your eye, you're taking your guys off. How are we going to hurt them?
Yeah.
And that's the tough thing against
I
Liverpool.
thought United did that in the first half.
Yeah.
Second half, I think they tended to get on top Liverpool and force United back. But it's interesting how you say about stopping Liverpool and the threats that they've got, and how United set up. I mean, it was a back five, I suppose, in lots of ways. And they will just highlight the back five. So it was Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire. Rojo came in because Tuanzebe had an injury in the warm-up, so Rojo came in, and Ashley Young, and that was the back five. He had 2 sitting in front as well, McTominay and Fred. What your first thoughts on playing a back 3 against Liverpool?
Well, the back 3 is when you're in possession. It's a back 5 when you're defending.
Yeah.
And that's the key. Now, if you're going to go into a back 5, the problem you've got against Liverpool particularly is, look, the 2 fullbacks. You've got to stop them as well.
So this is Robertson and Trent Alexander.
Yeah, I mean, I think United on the day tried to get one wing back across and in front. So sometimes they went into a 4 and one of the full-backs, wing backs, went in front. But that's tough to do that both sides. You can do it down one side, but if the ball changes quickly, it's very difficult to get your opposite one out and get organised.
Yeah.
So you can only do it down one side. So what do? You try and get your 2 wide men to split and look after the fullbacks. Well, that only leaves you now with 2 central midfield players.
Yeah.
So Liverpool are going to outnumber you in the centre of midfield.
Yeah.
They've got the 3.
Because
so
Fabinho sits there as well.
Fabinho sits in front because they'll throw these fullbacks so high. They're away from home, don't forget, in the first half
and
against
they
Man
trust
United.
themselves at the back as well to go almost man for man.
Man for man.
They'll say, do you know what, I'll deal with that because we're quick enough anyway to deal with that.
And they have the security of this is Fabinho, but he's been injured. Henderson's come in and done such a good job.
It's amazing actually because when Fabinho got injured we all said, Liverpool might slip up now because he does such a good job in that position, but Henderson's been great.
No, he's been excellent. He really has. And he's slotted in. And if that's where also what we've got to say is they'll try and win the ball. They press very high. Yeah. When they lose the ball, Liverpool, they'll press you with a front 3 and the 2 attacking midfield players. And the fullbacks, don't forget, are so far up and advanced.
It's hard to get out, isn't it?
Well, because they're in contact with the pressing. They're not falling back into a back 4 like we talk about a 4-3-3. So they're actually 2 when they're defending. There's only a 2
with a bit of protection.
With a slight bit of protection, ready to go back in if a team get out through you.
Interesting. Let's have a look at it in action then. That's Wan-Bissaka doing his job on Robertson.
Yeah.
But United are still. I mean, he went man for man virtually.
He
in
did.
that first half, didn't he?
And I've got to say, Ollie would look at him, and one of the greatest assets Wan-Bissaka's got is 1v1.
Yeah.
As a defender, he's fabulous.
Yeah.
Look, he wants to go. He just went to go then because he knew, where do I go? I've been told to stop the fullback.
Exactly. He's been said, your job actually is this one.
And
and now he's thinking, what do I do?
He hesitated. He was going to go, and he thought, hang on a minute, I've got a player here. I've got to stay in here.
That's Origi on the left.
Yeah. But look at the space that Robertson's got at left back position.
Eventually, he does do that, though.
Yeah.
The second time, I think he eventually does go back to Robertson. But now he goes.
But that's right, because Lindelof can
so
take
he goes
the striker.
all that way. And then let's just hold it there, because he's gone all the way now in on Robertson. But then, as you quite rightly said, United have then gone to a back 4.
Yeah.
Because Ashley Young's come into that position, hasn't he?
That's right. So they're swinging, one wing-back can go and face up to a full-back and get his head down and put pressure on the ball, but you can't have both of you doing that. So one has to swing round. It's whether, okay, they play down one channel, and that's how Man United are going to look to play if they do the same system here. Yeah. But if that ball goes back in there and back across, it's very difficult now then to change and do it the same.
So then you're asking Ashley Young to push out, and you're asking Wan-Bissaka to get himself back in this position here, aren't you?
It's too much.
It's a lot of running, isn't it?
Yeah, it's too much, and the ball travels quicker than any man I've ever seen on the football pitch. So you're never going to catch a football.
So Liverpool's front 3 are pretty quick.
Pretty quick. But that's the problem that United are going to get on Sunday. But don't forget, this is at Old Trafford.
And he's not even done. Now, Wan-Bissaka normally he's sprinting back, isn't he?
Yeah.
But because he's been said, that's your man.
That's your man. That's
there
your fullback.
You know, with Robertson, that's your job. You just stay with him. He's not sprinted back to get himself back into that shape.
And you can understand it, because that's the problem playing Liverpool. There's so many assets. The 2 fullbacks are a problem to you.
Yeah.
But so are their midfield attacking, and then the front 3. You're talking about the front 3 as well.
Yeah.
So they cause you a problem every which way.
Yeah. No,
there he is again.
So there he's gone again.
Yeah.
And now Ashley Young's just working his way back, isn't he, to get himself back into that position. We were talking about this a little bit earlier, and you said, I'm not sure about that.
I don't understand that, because systems, and it's what's happening on the ball that's important. Is that ball going to get right across to this player?
Well, that is some pass.
No
If Robertson hits that one to there, that is some pass, isn't it?
It's not going to happen. The body shape, where he is where he's being pressured. So that for me, I think this is. I prefer him in here.
So we could what, in this sort of position?
Yeah, because he can do both things. He can go in there and defend, and if it did get changed out, he's got time to engage himself quickly and press the fullback.
He can still go in and get.
And he doesn't need to get back here, because the centre-back, left-sided centre-back's going to look after him, and that's not a problem. And that's where you've got to be really, really.
Do you not think that in this position that Henderson has caused you a bit of an issue, because Henderson's quite high up there? Do you think he's caused them a bit of a problem there?
Not really, because
No.
there's a player engaging there, there's a player engaging there. When you're playing against Liverpool, you're going to have to go 1v1.
You've got to trust yourself.
You've got to trust yourself, and you go 1v1. They're all matched up lovely, and I don't, Ashley Young's an experienced player as well. He's bursting the gut to get back on the cover when the ball's down here,
Yeah.
70 yards away, and it's not going to hurt you as a team. If they progress and they change the play, yes, maybe then he's got to tuck round and leave him. He's less dangerous than this guy, but at that moment in time, you've got to assess when do you become a fullback and when do you remain the wing back that's going to go and press. So it's what's happening on the other side of the pitch is also important to what's happening on this side of the pitch. There they are. They've got 2v2, not a problem. Yeah.
And they got pressure on the ball as well, which was important, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Now, this is United. They're not looking to play out, are they?
No.
This is a home game at Old Trafford. You've got a back three as well.
Yeah.
So you've got two wing backs who can push up, say, go on, we'll get the ball. But actually, no. What they do is they get right into that area there of the pitch.
They've gone into
every single body in that area of the pitch now.
Well, that's
apart from the two keepers.
That's what we said. They're not going to play out from the back, and this is them at home, as we say. This is what Liverpool do to you. They're forcing you to play into a box. Now, back in the 80s when I played, that's how we did it every time. No one played. Yeah, because the pitches were poor. The rules were different.
Second balls.
It was second balls. You ended up playing in boxes like that, and you go to any training ground in the world, and you won't see teams playing a full length. You know that, Matt. We know that. We've done it as players. They're always playing in 60 by 40 boxes and playing at that because that's how the game.
A lot of the game is.
Game is, yeah. Whatever box you're playing in at the time, whether it's the middle third or whatever. So that and that is a great example of they're looking now. Man United at home at Old Trafford against Liverpool are looking for second balls.
Yeah.
They're going direct, and they're saying
happy with that, aren't they?
We've got to win the second ball, and they're not. You're not stretching Liverpool, but you're keeping it compact and you're being tight as a team. But the main thing, look at this here. Everyone says about a pitch. How big's the pitch at Old Trafford? 110 by 70, blah blah blah. No, it's not. It's 60 by 40.
They're playing in that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why you've got to have the skills to perform in that sort of.
Well, they win the first one.
Yeah.
But they do lose the second one.
They lose the second. Yeah. Any ball that goes in the air, I always said, from a goal kick or a goal, it's a 50-50.
Yeah.
You've got to have somebody who's good in the air to, and then
actually he can't go there.
Can't get there.
No chance. And he's probably too far away because he can't then get across to there either.
They've stretched themselves.
They've stretched it.
The only chance they've got there is if the other wing back, as we say, tucks round and they shuttle across.
Yeah.
But that happens too quickly. You can't do it down both sides of the pitch. So you have to decide which way you're going to keep one in front and one swings round to make a back four. I think they have to sometimes think about defending in the back four.
Yeah.
But when they get the ball, going into a three and causing Liverpool problems that way.
Okay.
So there's two systems. Once when you've got it, and once when when you're defending.
And it's different as well. Look at big Liverpool make the pitch compared to United. This is them trying to play out.
Yeah.
And it does eventually find its way, doesn't it?
Look at that, it's too
There's
easy,
the space. And when you're talking about someone with a quality, this ball is a difficult ball, but look at that. It makes it look easy, doesn't it?
That's what he does all the time. I mean, Alexander-Arnold, he's got a little bit of Beckham in him, he's got a little bit of Gerrard in his passing, and he does it from
Kevin De Bruyne.
He does it from a wide position, which in some ways is difficult because he hasn't got other options, but in some ways is easier because he's got nothing behind him. People have said to me, could he play in midfield? That's a fabulous cross. Fabulous ball in. And the strikers know it's coming as well. People say, couldn't he play centre and midfield? Well, I haven't seen him play with 360 degrees round him.
Right.
It's all right for him out here. He's got everything inside him.
He can see it all.
Yeah, he see it all. So in a way, if he could adapt, but it's going to take a bit of time. It's a different position to go in that centre and midfield. In
terms of back three, back four, you said with and without. You said with and without the ball. I'll tell you what. Let's just forget the names for a minute. We know how Liverpool are going to play, as you quite rightly said. 4-3-3. Let's just forget the names. Let's just put the counters up. How do you anticipate Ole Gunnar Solskjaer setting up this weekend?
Well, I do think he'll for me he'll slide into a 4.
Yeah.
I think he's probably learned that it worked for a half, maybe, the wing-backs. But if you haven't got the personnel to do it, I'm not sure he's going to throw Jones in there and make a back three.
Well, he's done it 3 times this season. He did it in the game against Liverpool, He did it against Chelsea in the Cup.
Yeah.
And Sheffield United.
United.
And Sheffield United didn't work, did it? And Phil Jones came in as one of those three.
Yeah.
And it didn't work.
And he played him on the left channel as well,
Yeah.
which doesn't really suit the lad. So I don't know whether, you know, he's going to mess around with Wan-Bissaka coming in as a right, you know, on the right side of a three,
Right.
which I think he could play that position,
Yeah.
quite frankly. But it's a big ask to go to Anfield and do that, throw it at the lad straight away. So I think he will go into a back four.
I'll tell you what, set them up against, I mean, if you think it'd be a four, and United have been playing this way.
Yeah.
This is how United have been playing. This is that 4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
Their front three, you'll say, so let's put their front three in now, and they're going to have two eight
eights,
midfielders
what we call
up, so
eights,
they
yeah.
like to push up, don't
Yeah.
they? There's your holding midfield player, and these are the problem. These two, aren't they?
Yeah, of course.
These
they engage so high. You know,
Let's get
that's
those
the
up.
problem. I think you're forced to go in. I think they're forced to go in a little bit with a 4 and a 3, and I would say this needs to be tightened up. I don't know whether you can really you're going to get this guy off the front in the game enough. So it might be that that you go in more
one
of
and
a
a two.
3. Three, a nice 3 in there, a nice tight 3 in there.
Yeah.
But this fella is important.
Yeah.
And that's why if it was me at Anfield, I'd go with Rashford for this one game.
Through the middle.
Yeah, because of his pace, and I'd get him running in behind all the time, you know, because that's where Liverpool press up high now. They trust these two centre backs. Sorry,
Yeah.
the two centre backs will be in here. Sorry, the two centre backs will be right up here to the halfway line when they're on the attack, and I think you need that pace. And yes, defend. I would ask my centre forward to defend in and around these positions, but when the ball's high up, I want him picking positions to think, when we turn over the ball, where am I going to hurt them? Am I going to come out here on the outside of them? That's a good position because the fullback are big on anyway, Robertson. That's perfect for me. And you win that ball and you send diagonals into those positions and you've got him with pace, that could cause all sorts of problems to Liverpool, whatever team you play against.
I think against...
If you've got pace...
I think against Man City, they split strikers.
Yeah.
Because the fullbacks, again, like to bomb on and leave those spaces, don't they? There's the space.
Yeah.
Down the channels, if you could potentially split the strikers that way.
But I just think I think these guys are going to be needed more down there. I don't think you can do that and let these...
You're asking too much.
You're letting these fullbacks have too much time on the ball and space, and they're going to hurt you. That's why I think this guy, for this one game, to try and overcome Liverpool, you've got to cause these two centre-backs problems. Forget defending, I'm saying, to this man, not the rest of the team. I'm saying this guy, your defensive responsibilities are up here. If we go pressing or whatever there's throwing, as soon as the ball is there attacking us, you start picking up positions. Start picking up positions, even going into the offside position sometimes. With the offside rule as it is, they don't use it enough.
No.
They don't go into offside positions. If you start there, and they're attacking down there, and they're putting crosses, Liverpool are putting crosses in there, and Rashford's in that position, I know those two centre-backs wouldn't like that position. He's not going to be offside if they break out this side anyway. No. So he can make his runs from there. Or if they drop in there, he's now suddenly dictating to these two because they're scared of his pace. And I don't see enough teams do that to Liverpool.
Yeah.
And it's taking... Is it a risk? Is it really a risk asking your centre forward not to come back too deep in there?
No.
You know, if he's going to have the ball, this Fabinho, or if it is...
Well, let's put the names up. Let's put the names up. Let's put the names up. Okay, so you're... Martial's quick. He could do that.
He could do that job.
Yeah, and so team-wise then, I mean, it's difficult for United with a few injury problems as well. What he might do. Back four probably...
I think it picks itself. If he goes in with that back four. For me, for this one-off game, I think he needs James. I think he needs James on the pitch for his pace, and I think he needs Rashford on the pitch. Now, if you're going with Martial...
Probably Mata off though, isn't it?
You know, Mata off and James. I think to hit them on the break...
So, that sort of... That pace up top.
I would personally put Rashford there.
So where would you put Martial left?
I wouldn't play him in this game. This is a one-off game.
Okay.
You're going to a team that have never lost for... How many games is it? Eternity. It's like, doesn't it? So you've got to go there with a game plan to get something out of this game.
In that case, Martial doesn't play. Who plays?
Well, it could be whoever it is. It could be
Lingard?
somebody doing a job here that can play out on a wide berth.
Then guard?
You know, it might be time. Yeah, reassess his position, play him out here. He can do that job. He's got the legs to do that. He'll track people back if he needs to be. But again, he's got the pace to break and get forward in the box. These two can still score goals and break. And with Rashford, and slowly but surely, your fullbacks can engage once they've done their defending.
Yeah.
It would be lovely for United to say, let's go to Anfield now, as we are, and let's dictate the play. We'll have possession. We'll take the ball away from Liverpool. They can't do it.
No, they can't.
So you have to come up with a game plan that, let's be realistic here. And I think United, this, with a bit of pace hitting on the counter, could be their way, if they can get enough ball.
Yeah, so it's quite a big job for Ollie, picking a team, picking a formation, how's he going to set up. Probably not such a difficult week for Jurgen Klopp. They've got a game tonight as well, United, by the way, in the Cup against the Wolves. Liverpool have got a full week on the training ground, and virtually their best team, really, and also Fabinho fit again.
Yeah.
So does he pick Fabinho for this game?
Absolutely.
You
You've got to have the best three up top against Man United, and this stage of the season, you know, you keep saying it's not over yet. You hear Klopp saying it's not over yet. It's not over yet. Of course he's going to say that until it's mathematically right. But the reason that I know that he means it really is when I see these three will be out there on Sunday. And that's the way, in the way he picks his teams. He hasn't rotated as much as I thought he was going to do.
No, the area of the pitch that he does rotate generally is this midfield area. So with Fabinho fit, does Fabinho come into the team?
Oh, Fabinho? That's
Fabinho.
Sorry. I thought you said Firmino.
Oh, Firmino definitely plays. That front three,
Sorry.
No, Fabinho.
No, Fabinho, well, he was doing such a fantastic job. But I've got to say, Henderson's been brilliant.
He has, yeah.
He really has been brilliant. I think that probably suits him. As he goes on as a player through his career, that position will suit him better and better. I don't see him as a good, really fantastic number 8. Who's going to? I think this lad, Oxlade-Chamberlain, and I think they've got better players in that position than Henderson. That's going to get in the box and cause the problems. Because I think they can take from the midfield position. Liverpool can take it another level. They've still got another level to go, believe it or not.
Really?
I think so, yeah. Especially with this lad, if he stays fit, the runs that he makes off the ball, the goals that I think he can create. Is a great balance for these two wide men anyway, because it's not always them then that have got to make them runs in behind Firmino. So the balance of the game, I think I see him playing that. He's got a great position, Klopp, because he can just dovetail them two now. Yeah. If Fabinho comes in there, I like Fabinho. I think he's been great on the ball, but defensively slips in when they need to, and then to make a 3 because the fullbacks have gone. He does that perfectly.
And when they're all fit, they have got options. Naby Keita as well to come back as well. He's not fit at the moment as well.
For me as well, Matt, they've got a really good player that I think the last half an hour for Liverpool in every game is going to be important for him to hang on to a game or to change a game. At Tottenham, he brought Lallana on. Very experienced player who keeps the ball. And if you're 1-0 up away from home, like they were at Tottenham, I saw him coming on and I thought it was the worst thing ever for Tottenham. I'm wanting Tottenham to get back in the game. And he just kept the ball and he kept it simple and he shoved people into positions. Fantastic asset to have if you're a manager going for a championship, you know, it really is.
Fascinating game, isn't it?